He catapulted to fame in the late 90s in a show that would define a generation. Tonight, we are remembering James Van Der Beek.
The Dawson's Creek star died today at the age of 48 after battling colorectal cancer. Doug Williams is here now with a look back at his life and his legacy, and so many fans today morning.
Just so sad, Christine and Jessica, good evening. And as Jessica mentioned, Dawson's Creek was hugely popular to a generation of viewers that felt as if they grew up with the show, and of course then its cast. And that's part of what makes James Van Der Beek's death so shocking and sad. The show's fan base wasn't that much younger than he was, and his battle with colon cancer in his mid-40s now becomes part of his legacy and a stark reminder of a frightening health trend. For those of a certain age, Dawson's Creek was a generation-defining show, highlighting the challenges of going from high school to adulthood, all in a small town in Massachusetts. The show and its title incomplete, of course, without Dawson, played by James Van Der Beek, and his childhood friend and soulmate, Joey, played by Katie Holmes.
What you said? Did you mean it, Dawson?
Every word.
Van Der Beek went from playing Dawson for 6 years to playing a variety of different characters, ranging all over the map in motion pictures like The Rules of Attraction and Varsity Blues, and later back on TV in Don't Trust the Bee in Apartment 23, and even a news anchor in CSI Cyber.
And I just thought, that's the way to approach everything in this business, is don't worry about what people say outside, just do what you can to help everybody out.
In 2023, Van Der Beek was diagnosed with stage 3 colorectal cancer, speaking publicly at various times about the battle that ensued and one that he fought alongside his wife Kimberly and their 6 children. On his birthday in 2025, Van Der Beek posted a video on social media discussing how battling cancer had shaped him.
I am worthy of God's love simply because I exist. And if I'm worthy of God's love, shouldn't I also be worthy of my own?
The news Wednesday that Van Der Beek's battle had come to an end, a reminder of the increase we've seen in recent years of colorectal cancers in healthy, middle-aged people.
All of these things are compounded in the setting of, let's say, family history. So if you have these symptoms and you have a family history, there's even more urgency to have a diagnostic workup, which would include a colonoscopy.
One of the most recent public appearances that Van Der Beek made before his death was on the Fox TV show The Masked Singer, greeted by his family on stage. Van Der Beek was a Connecticut native born and raised in Cheshire. The director of Rules and Attraction, Roger Avery, posted not long ago that he never knew anyone else quite like him, ending the post with, "God bless you, James. I love you forever," guys.
Such an iconic person in that time in pop culture, and grew up to be someone who could make fun of the character who made him famous, which was adorable and endearing.
And talked a lot about, reaching that level of fame at such a young age, and his relationship with Katie Holmes on and off screen, but on screen for us at home. It was that classic example of a romance that so needs to happen, but just couldn't for some reason.
Well, we did mention that he's a Connecticut native, and you might be wondering why Lonnie is here with us suddenly, but Lonnie also a Connecticut native.
And from the same town.
Yeah, and you have a connection to James.
Okay, so I knew James when he was a little boy. At the time, I'm going back, guys, to the late 80s, early 90s, when at the time I was an actor on All My Children, and James was just getting involved with theater at the time. In our small town, everybody knows everybody. So he got in touch, wanted to know if he could come over and just talk about how to get started in the business. And I remember sitting out by my mom and dad had a pool. We were out in the backyard by the pool in these chaise lounges that I think were from 1970 as well, and they're still there. But we were sitting there just chatting, and he wanted to know, how can I do what you're doing? So I just told him, I said, look, you're already ahead of the game. You've gotten involved with local theater. Keep it going. I can introduce you to my agent. You got to be ready to travel into New York City at a moment's notice for auditions. And things worked out the way they worked out. He was such a sweet young boy. He was about 12 or 13 at that point in time. My wife said, boy, you gave him better advice than you followed. Because what a career he had.
He really did have a career. And, he was just so open and honest with the battle with cancer, and that's something to be admired. Our thoughts and prayers with his family.
Oh, without a doubt, Casey. And I love what Jess said when he wasn't afraid to make fun of himself. And that did make him so likable.
Thanks.
To see the full post from James Van Der Beek's wife and a lot more on his life and career, just head to our website, cbsnewyork.com.